Hey everyone, welcome back to Alf's Mustang Garage. Today we're working on our 67 Mustang Coupe full restoration. Today we're going to do some steering linkage, inner and outer tie rods, Pitman arm, idler arm. So we'll show you how all this stuff goes on. We have a whole array here of nice brand new ACP parts to go back on. Oh, and a drag link, of course. Got to have a drag link. Car is getting equipped with a Borgeson power steering gearbox, so it's not a radical change on here, but there are a couple little differences when you're doing a Borgeson conversion. But other than that, show you how all the tie rods go back together and little tips and tricks along the way. Okay, let's get started. If you're about to go through a restoration or a general repair on stuff that's wore out on your classic Mustang, ordering the right part that fits can be overwhelming. So let me try and help you out with that. ACP, all classic parts, has been manufacturing reproduction parts for these classic Mustangs and other Fords for 35 years. We've been installing their parts on our client cars since we started back in 2018. I can tell you that they fit, they're high quality, they stand behind their product, and what more could you ask for? So whether it's suspension, steering, radiators, engine brackets, oil pans, interior stuff, you'll probably be surprised as to how many things they're manufacturing. Jump on their website, check them out. I highly recommend ACP parts for your nice daily driving cruiser that you're building or trying to keep on the road and out of the garage. Okay, so the first thing I like to do when setting up the steering linkage is I like to start with the Pitman arm. So we have a Borgeson box already mounted here on the frame rail. We have our Pitman arm, and what we want to do is index or center the steering gearbox so you're not putting this all kind of weird. So the way this mounts is going to be in this position right here, and it is splined one way, so it can only go on, I guess technically it can go on multiple ways. It can go on there, which is wrong, or it can go on here. So, but we want to center it. So what we need to do is push this all the way one way, and then we're going to turn it all the way in the opposite direction. And we're going to count how many turns up here on the rag joint that we're going to get. Okay, so we're going to make a point of reference right here on this rag joint, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, it's about 3 3/4 of a turn. So what is half of 3 3/4? It's about 1.875, if my math serves me correctly. So how do you do 1.875 turns? You don't. Just have to get it as best as you can, because at the end of the day, when you get your tie rods and everything aligned, that's when you perfect everything. So from here, I'm gonna, again, have my reference point. I have my hand fixed here. I'm gonna count this bolt right here, and I'm gonna come back. So that's 1 turn. And if I go to a half a turn, which is right there, and then 3/4 of a turn is right there, and we're gonna go probably about half of that extra quarter, which is about 1/8, and that should put us pretty dang close to center right there. Okay, so now my gearbox is centered or indexed. Now, I wanna run through that one more time in case you didn't get a good visual aid on that. So I know sometimes the camera angle can make a big difference. So I got my Pitman arm on right here, okay? I'm gonna go all the way to one side. Doesn't matter which side, okay? I'm using my finger here. I'm gonna keep track of this bolt right here, and I'm gonna count how many times it comes around, okay? So you gotta go nice and slow. That's 1, 2, oop, that was 3. Obviously went a little past 3. There's 3.5, and it stops right there at 3 3/4. Okay, so we're 3 3/4 turns from lock to lock. So now let's get another reference point. We're gonna follow this one right here that's pointed straight down, okay? And half of 3 3/4 is 1.875, okay? So we're gonna go 1 full turn, okay? And now that right there is a half of a turn. That there's 3/4 of a turn. That right there is about 0.875. And now my Pitman arm is set up, ready to be mounted on. Okay, so the Borgeson box has this little boot. Pitman arm goes on. Got a great big split washer going on and a great big nut going on. Okay, so one thing that you may encounter if you're doing a similar setup to me is, as big as this split washer is, it doesn't give you enough room to actually get any thread started with this big old honking nut. So, because the way these Pitman arms go, it's a tapered shaft, so they have to be impacted on. So, what do? Or do you hit it with the hammer? What you can do is put the nut on first, hit it with an impact a little bit, and get this Pitman arm to rise up, pull the nut back off, then add the split washer. So, check this out. We love Milwaukee impact tools. We actually, we love Milwaukee tools in general. All right, hold on to your butts. There we go. There. So now that that's up a little ways, oh look, now you can get it started. Okay, now it's impacted the rest of the way. Oh, you doofus. You gotta go the right way.
The other righty-tighty.
It's not lefty-tighty?
Depends on how far you take it.
Depends on how far you take it. Okay. That's there. There we go. All right. Is there a torque specification on this? Yes, there is. I highly recommend that you consult your service manual that you should be investing in if you own one of these classic Ford Mustangs. So the next thing that I like to do before I get the drag link and tie rods and all that stuff is put in my idler arm. So you got these 2 holes right here in your frame rail. I usually like to get a nice new mounting kit. In this car, the old mounting kit bolts were completely rusty. So AMK makes nice mounting kits, and you can pick those up at National Parts Depot. So we're gonna go through the frame rail on the opposite side with your bolts. Just like that. And mount our idler arm there, and get some nuts for this side. Okay. There she is. Okay, you got your Pitman arm, got your idler arm. Now I like to do my drag link. This has to be dropped in at the same time. You have to get them lined up perfectly. And like that. Okay. Your ACP Pitman arm does come with a castle nut, as well as the idler arm comes with a castle nut. So you have a Pitman arm, an idler arm, a drag link. All that's left is tie rods, okay? So you have a sleeve, an outer tie rod, and an inner tie rod, okay? Here's the trick with these things, okay? I like to dab, before I get anti-seize in there, I'm gonna explain how this works, okay? Your outer tie rod is gonna have right-hand threads. Your inner tie rod is gonna have left-hand threads, okay? Your tie rod adjustment sleeve is gonna be marked, this little groove right here, if you can see that, that's this side that's gonna indicate for the left-hand threads, so that's gonna get your inner tie rod. So now you know, you would probably figure it out because it can only physically go on one way, but you would figure it out. So that should help at least smooth some things out. So I'm gonna get one started like that. Oh, but first, I'm getting ahead of myself. I do like anti-seize, okay? Don't use a whole ton of it because this stuff gets pretty nasty. So one little swipe there, one little swipe there, and that's all you need. Okay, so no groove, that's for the outer right-hand threads. Put this on so that you get one thread biting, okay? Go to your left-hand thread, and I have to think about what I'm doing because now I have to go backwards to tighten it. Okay, so you're both in there, okay? Now the trick is you want these to be even, right? So now, if you turn your sleeve, this, whoops, you wanna hold it all together, so maybe I'll do it this. Turn the sleeve and it pulls both of them in together evenly at the same time.
Before you put it together, we've already done it, you want to install your lock rings.
Yes.
So you can tighten the sleeve down.
Yes. Thank you, cameraman, AKA Justin. He's that guy that always is there to make sure I'm not doing anything stupid. Not doing anything wrong. It's a caddy from Happy Gilmore. So where were you on that one? Okay, so once I get all the way down, and obviously this shouldn't go without being said, but you're gonna need to align your car if you're doing tie rod ends. So now, both of those are gonna meet. Let me open that up a little bit. They meet right in the middle. See that gap? It's tightened up. They are now meeting right in the middle, so you have an equal amount of threads on both tie rods. So as you can see, there's a lot of anti-seize that gets everywhere. So this is why I say don't go crazy on the anti-seize, because I didn't feel I went that crazy and it still gets everywhere. But the good news is you can change your gloves out, you can wipe it off, and then you're good to go. Why do I put anti-seize in there? Because over time, it does develop moisture and rust, and this sleeve will seize together to the tie rod. So the only way to replace that, or to, if you need a simple adjustment down the line, you're gonna have to end up cutting it all off and replacing it. Okay, wipe it all off, she's good to go. Do that exact same thing for your other side. They are the same on, now, I should clarify, depending on your setup, your inners and outers can be different, okay? Our particular setup, going with a Borgeson system, is gonna be the same for left and right inner and outer tie rods and sleeves, but you need to look into your particular setup. Don't forget your lock, what are these things? Don't forget your locking rings. Put them on, and if you're super OCD, don't do that. Do that. There you go. Don't forget them. Okay, we'll get this one together and then we're gonna be putting it on the car. Last thing before we go back in the car, your little ACP tie rods do come with little grease zerks. Go right in, use a little socket to snug them up. Okay, now let's go put this on the car. So, this particular setup, doesn't matter which one's left or right. Do check to see if you're factory power steering or factory manual steering cars. Sometimes it's different. So, we'll come right over here. All right, so the long tie rod is the inner tie rod. The short tie rod is the outer. The outer tie rod is going to connect to your spindle. We're going to come in through the front of this. Attach your castle nut, and then we're going to, no, we come up from the bottom, don't we?
They do.
Yes, they do. Come up from the bottom. Like that. Same thing on this side. Inner. And outer.
And the torque spec is?
And the torque spec is your service manual. Check it out. You should invest in one if you own one of these classic Mustangs. So, we're cotter pinning. This is the last thing, okay? There's a couple of different ways you can cotter pin. You can put it straight in this and fold the cotter pin straight over the top. I don't like that because I've gotten bit too many times in the past. So I will take it to the side, this, if you can see that pretty good. Okay, and then you can get your pliers and get it flush in there with that. And that's how I like to do the tie rods. So while we're right here talking about it, eventually you are gonna have this car aligned, whether you have a shop that is able to do your classic Mustang for you or you're trying to do it yourself. Make sure when you're all finalized, you get your clamp this, because this slit in the sleeve needs to clamp down. If you put your clamp this, it's not gonna put the proper torque on your sleeve, and this can come out of adjustment. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for this video. If you found it helpful, give us a thumbs up. If you want to follow us along, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. All those little things do go a long way when it comes to helping us to continue to make nice little videos like this. So thanks for being here, appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. And I could see myself sideways. One last thing, don't forget to grease it. Do not over grease it. We love Milwaukee tools. We also love Lucas Red and Tacky grease. Okay, thanks.